Hi everyone, this is your members only bonus video segment for the Lake Ouachita episode of our show. Of course, Lake Ouachita is located just a little bit west of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Just a beautiful part of the country, as you can see behind me here. Rolling hills, mountains, crystal clear water, which is the first thing you'll need to know about coming here. Is the water is very clear, and you'll need to gauge your tackle accordingly. Bring your lighter stuff, your spinning rods, your 6 and 8 and 10 pound test, very clear line. I use Stren fluorocast line when I'm here. It's the clearest line on the market, and you definitely need that because of the clarity of the water here. Now, there are two basic types of fishing that we did while we were here, and there's actually crappie and catfish and several other species in the lake, but it is a trophy striper fishery. Now, I will warn you that this is not a striper lake like Texoma, which is just loaded with big schools, acres and acres and acres of schools of stripers. This lake has a lot of stripers in it, but they're in tight little schools. They're out in fairly deep water most of the time, and they roam a lot. And there are a lot of big trophy stripers here. 30 and 40 pounders are caught here on a fairly regular basis, but they are difficult to catch. Your best chance to catch a striper, if you don't have a guide, is to come early in the morning, right at daylight, and you've got about a 2-hour window early in the morning and then a 2-hour window the last light of day to catch them on a topwater bait. Now, we did manage to catch one striper the first morning we were here, and it was on a Strike King Sexy Dog topwater bait, kind of a cigar dog walking type bait. But that's your best bet in the area around Mountain Harbor Resort. Now, that's where we stayed. It's a fantastic resort, everything you would ever need. Marina facilities, fantastic rooms, great restaurant, boat rentals, everything you need all in one spot. And it's located on that south arm of the lake, and just in a perfect location to catch the big trophy stripers. Once it's daylight and once the sun's up in the sky like it is right now, then pretty much you need to switch over to bass fishing. Two different species of bass predominant here, the largemouth bass and the spotted bass. And you need to catch them on like a moving crankbait type bait if it's a cloudy, overcast day and the fish are up in the water column, or a soft plastic bait, a little finesse worm, or some kind of a small jig, a swim worm, something like that, a trick worm. Those will all work in this really clear water. But that's your best bet on Lake Ouachita. It is loaded with fish, not only the stripers, but there are just bass everywhere. This lake is really spread out too. It goes every direction for miles and miles and miles. There's lots of water to fish. So if you've only got one day to fish here, good luck, because it's hard to know where to fish. If you want to book a guide, my good friend Mike Worm, known him for 20 years. He's mostly a bass guide. He will guide for stripers some on this lake, but he can put you on bass for sure. And you can contact him at the information you'll see on the members only page on our website on my favorite locations. We'll give you his telephone number and email address and that kind of thing as well. I think you'd enjoy a trip here. It's a fantastic lake. It's got lots of fish in it, but mostly the scenery around here is just absolutely gorgeous. Book yourself a trip up here to beautiful Lake Ouachita outside Hot Springs, Arkansas. We'll see you next week here on the show.